So, this cottage, do you think it belonged to anybody at all?
Well, not that I know of, but all I know is that it has been abandoned.
Well, whatever the case, we cannot afford to stay here for long. We do not know who owns this cottage.
Cassandra, I am fully aware not to touch anything. I know how haunted cottages work. Look, anything that is... well, you know, they'll end up summoning for some sort of demon, even though it'll come after us. And for all we know, we could have another Evil Dead scenario, except without a Necronomicon.
You mean the Book of the Dead? Well, if it's so dangerous, why can't we just ask as at least Chris to help out?
Apparently he was called forth by one of the commanders of his regiment of the garrisons named Pyxis. Does anyone have a conversation on what's been going on between humans and titans? Nah, it's fine. What's the point? When being a soldier, there's no challenge for us humans.
More like he wanted Chris to get old geezer more alcohol.
Well, to be fair, Pyxis does love to drink alcohol, even on during his duties as a garrison commander. Davi? Are you sure you did your magic right? 'Cause so I think that gem of yours might have malfunctioned or something. No, it's not that the gem is malfunctioned. I think that gem belonged to this place somehow. I guessing whatever that crystal was brought us to this land here. Hence would explain why those like Daequan, Cassandra, Susan, and even Drake came here. It is best we ask someone who knows about these crystals, so we can know how to reactivate them and bring them back home.
If you're going to trespass into my home, rifle through my things, then at least have the decency to join me for supper. I'm bloody hungry.
I see. So that explains why you all came here. You each was found a peaceful worldstone that brought you to Sanctuary.
It's still late to have these worldstones to bring us back to our worlds where we belong.
It is not that simple, Susan. The worldstone was corrupted by Baal, the Lord of Destruction, and Tyrael destroyed it, so it cannot be used for further corruption ever again on Sanctuary. I don't think that's Sanctuary, sir. But it's more like a haunted forest with an seemingly endless blizzard. That was mainly because that dark forest you mentioned is part of Sanctuary. To save you from boredom with a long story, Sanctuary was created by Ananias and Lorath, angel and demon, our father and mother. For over the eons, the eternal conflict has been waged between demonic forces of the burning hells and the angelic hosts of the high heavens. And it began with the battle between Anu and the seven-headed dragon Teferet, the prime evil, and gave birth to the high heavens, the burning hells, and pandemonium. They both fought for control of the worldstone, a mountain-sized artifact with infinite power. Any who controls the worldstone will have the power to make new worlds, or unmake them with a thought. A desirable and dangerous prize indeed. But the endless cycle of bloodshed had caused Ananias, advisor to the Angela's council and under Tyrael's command, to eventually conclude that the war could never be won, and he resolved to abandon it.
Elsewhere, Lilith, daughter of hatred, was arriving at a similar conclusion. On her father Mephisto's role in the eternal conflict, Lilith once wrote, "My father is content to fight the same battles and the same foes while everything turns to ashes. The war will never be won so long as he and his brothers lead. There is an end to it, but fools like my father are too blind to see it." Inaris and Lilith, angel and demon.
To some of you, the union was unusual. but some among you were formed by the unusual bonds your parents have forged together.
Well, he ain't wrong, fool.
I'm good. I've seen enough.
I'll just find another fragment and we could just teleport back home to where we belong now.
I wouldn't go out there yet if I were you.
Oh, why me? So, Lorath, any idea how long this blizzard is gonna last?
Not long. It'll end in a few minutes, but considering how hard the blizzard is, it will take at least 2 to 3 days to melt them completely off. I'll go fetch some hot water.
Now, hold on a sec.
How do you know?
Know that we were coming. Was it you that told Pyxis to keep Chris occupied for a bit?
No, I will not last 1 second in this titan-infested world, considering how old I am. I can no longer fight with steel and blood. It was actually Mr. Shadis that came in, for he too was needing to understand Christopher's origins. And Keith was needing to borrow Chris alongside some of the scouts for their mission. For Christopher is one of the Nephilim. Unlike the Titans, they were formed by a union between an angel and demon. In most cases, Ananias and Lilith.
The birthrights of the firstborn graced them with the potential to resist the evil of the burning hells and to defy the dominion of the high heavens. Because of this, many of the angels and demons who rebelled with Lilith and Ananias feared what these children might become.
When Keith came into my cottage, he was needing to understand and how he came to be special, as he called him, just as Aaron was. Hence is why Keith Shadis decided to push the soldiers, despite them being teenagers, to the limit, not to bring despair, but to bring humanity to its fullest when fighting against these monstrosities. Everyone are special in their own way. Now as for the worldstone fragments each of you have found, they will need to be replenished with magic. Some of you will have the capabilities of charging out these worldstone fragments, but they will take time. But first things first, we will need to melt the ice out of your friend.
Thank you.